call if our government, the Venezuelan government, shut down permanently an independent media, and it continues to chase journalists both legally and by official rhetoric.
Well, let me say that for the United States, freedom of speech, freedom of expression, freedom of the press is a fundamental value. Now, I have been in politics for a very long time, and I probably have been subjected to as much press criticism as anyone you can find. And yet I know that this is an important part of our democracy. You know, when you're in politics sometimes and you think you're trying to do what is right for the people who you represent, it is easy to look at anyone who criticizes you as being out of bounds and that they have no right to do that. But you cannot let the political concerns of any party or candidate or elected official undermine the freedom of expression, because at the end of the process, whoever is elected and whoever is in office needs constructive criticism. Otherwise, it's like you're talking to yourself. Am I doing a good job? Oh, yes, you're doing a good job, you know. That's not a way to run a democracy. So we are very supportive of the freedom of speech, press, the media, individuals, political parties. And I do think that in your country, like other countries, there has to be protection for the press against political opposition.
Issues like separation of power, human rights, political freedom, freedom of speech, civil and political rights, which one would you consider the weakest or the most fragile those days in Latin America?
Well, you have just listed many of the most important concerns that we have about our hemisphere. We think it's imperative that people's rights be respected, that there be separation of powers, and that different institutions within countries' governments have clearly defined roles that they are able to exercise. We support freedom of expression throughout our hemisphere. We are against the arbitrary use and abuse of power that would lead to political prisoners being confined. Because everything that you have mentioned is part of what makes up a vibrant democracy. Democracy is not just about elections. Democracy is about how governments are organized, whether they are able to protect the rights of minorities, whether people of different political persuasions have the right to speak out without fear of being persecuted, whether there's an independent judiciary and an independent press. All of these are parts of what make democracies dynamic and lasting. So whenever one of those is under attack, others are often under attack as well.